I did my presentation on the vegetable spring roll. So the vegetable spring roll is considered by many to be a part of Vietnamese cuisine, but it actually originated in China. It got its name for a couple of reasons, mostly because the vegetables they made it with were grown and harvested in the spring in China, and also back in the ancient times of dynasties in China, they used to eat these on the first day of spring, and it was considered to ward off the evil and kind of welcome in the new year or the new spring. As well, back then in that time, they were actually at the form of cakes, and they later were shrunk down into the more bite-sized spring rolls. And these spring rolls come in many different variations and have always came in many different variations. A lot of them include meat, but these that I are reviewing are going to be the vegetable ones, and they come with a lot of different vegetable and herb combinations, and some of them will have rice in them too. The shell is made of dried rice, and there's a lot of different qualities of that shell that you can get, and it will kind of change the crunchiness and the texture, and those differences are often just regional instead of on an individual basis, so it just kind of depends on what region you're getting them from. And this dish usually always comes with a dipping sauce, which is like a kind of orange clear dipping sauce, and there's a lot of different variations of it too, but they will typically all still taste the same or relatively the same. Cabbage is one of the vegetable I chose to go in depth to with this dish because it's the one that is usually most common in the spring roll. And as you can see, cabbage is very low in calories and is high in some vitamins like vitamin C, especially vitamin C, but also some other vitamins like vitamin B and potassium. And that makes it a great food to have in any dish just because it's so low in calories and high in vitamins. And it is also a cruciferous vegetable, which are just known to be in very high nutrients. And those vegetables are things like cauliflower, cabbage, broccoli, etc. This vegetable or cabbage is not like specifically known for helping with any one disease, but there have been studies showing that it will reduce the risk of cancer within people that eat them. There's also certain elements of cancer which are cabbage that have are found to help out with heart health and overall like lower your risk of dying from a cardiovascular issue. So the freshness of this ingredient, how to tell if it is fresh, is really just it's kind of the eye and smell test. Cabbage will have a very like distinct rotting smell the second it starts to go bad. So really you just have to smell it, but also the outside leaves will kind of lose their color and shrivel up a little bit once it starts going bad. So those are just the two main things you need to look for when purchasing or using cabbage. So cabbage is considered a cool weather plant, and that means it's usually grown in temperatures of around 55 to 60 degrees, which is going to be a fall or spring grown plant and harvest. It is typically grown in a more arid environment too, so you won't see this in some place that's super humid, like say like Florida or like somewhere in like South America, because this humidity can actually cause the cabbage to lose a lot of its flavor. It can be grown in lots of different types of soils too. It's pretty versatile, but is considered to be best when it has the soil has a pH between 5.5 and 6.5, and it also going along with the humidity is a better low water plant, so it will grow best when the ground is drained well. All right, and then these are the ingredients that the specific recipe calls for. This isn't the recipe I used, but these this one includes ginger, garlic, green onions, mushrooms, cabbage, carrots, bamboo shoots, and bean sprouts. And you pretty much cook it by just cooking all the vegetables first, and then you roll those up into one of these rice crisps, and then you throw that in a oil and let that go for a while to get the crispiness on the outside of the rice shell. And then so the spring rolls I had were from Publix. They were just a frozen spring roll, and I threw them in the oven for a couple minutes. I thought they were overall very good. The rice paper adds like a very nice crispy element to them. The ones I had came with cabbage, green onion, and carrots inside. And I'm not usually a huge vegetable guy, but I thought they were very good, especially with the sauce. I think the sauce is something that you have to have with them because it really added a lot to it. And then here's the picture of the ones I ate. And then overall, I've had the dishes similar to this a couple times, and they've been the ones with meat in them. But these didn't have meat in them; they were just the vegetable ones. And um, overall, I've had these just as snacks, and my mom has made them before dinner a couple times, and it's not really been like an important thing. It's just been something to snack on, and I think that's very different from a lot of these other cultures, like the Chinese and Vietnamese, where they're like considered a celebration of a new year or a new spring, and it definitely does not mean as much to me eating these as it does to certain cultures. And then here are the references. Thank you.